back from a job. Told y'all niggas. I told y'all niggas. Nah, it's whatever. I got a response back from the job, so that's good. You know what I'm saying? So that means they want to further on. So hopefully I get the joint. You know what I mean? And sun is better than that. And it's local. Which some people can't understand that. I don't know why. But it's local, so that's a good thing. You know what I mean? And it's pretty reputable company. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say it because some dumbass will get on here and probably try to call it or something like that. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing good. I got some music playing and there's also like a fountain in front of me. So it's going to be a little bit loud, so I'm going to try to speak up as well as I can. What's going on, Muddy Waters? What up? Darren Stasis, stay blessed up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who else said? Somebody else is up here at the chat. Just Shell, what's going on, mama? K. Cole, what's going on? Salute, salute, salute. Thank y'all. See, that's why I said midday, morning. Y'all the shit. Like, literally. Like, I am in such a different place. Such a different place. Hey, Just Shell. Hey, K. Cole. I am in such a different place mentally. Like, trying to move forward and shit like that or whatever. And, I just wanted to get on here and discuss some of that. Inga, what's going on? Inga Vazat. Who else is here? Okay, what's going on? Moving forward for me is something different. Brick City, what's going on? No, Tri-State. All right. Moving forward for me is something different. I'm getting into an endeavor that actually I've been working on for the past year and a half, and I'm just gonna share a imaging of it to you guys or whatever. But it's Baton Rouge, what's going on now? New sub, Michelle Lee, how you doing, sister? Nellyville, Nelly, what's going on? What's going on? All right. Just real quick. One of the funny things that I'm trying to do right now, and I'll get back to the shouts because I appreciate every last one of y'all, is something that some of y'all across the country might be familiar with, but they actually have here in Connecticut, and it's a development end that I'm more interested in of shipping container housing. And I'll tell you what I mean by this, and I'll try to sum it up as quickly as I can, and I'll move on to the next premise or something maybe I might want to talk about maybe more. But there's something that's going to happen, and a lot of economists, a lot of people that are projectionalists are predicting. And what they're predicting is it's going to be a housing crash. On top of that housing crash, you're also going to have sudden, and I don't know how to say it, just a sudden blast in evictions. And I think most of this is going to come from, because right now, if you don't know, as standing, for 5 months we haven't had another stimulus package. So, you know, a lot of people will say it's, you know, it's so-and-so's fault, this person's fault or whatever. And I'm no economist, okay, so don't get me, but I do know a thing or two about fucking politics. So for 5 months we've been held up now. Some people will blame Mitch McConnell, some people will blame Nancy Pelosi, some people will blame Schumer, some people will blame whoever. You know, everybody's got to pick up the litter who they're going to blame. But this is the point. Within all of that, there lies this. The people are still suffering, especially people of minority backgrounds. And this yesterday, excuse me, I think it was the day before yesterday, Sunday. Nancy Pelosi was in an interview. You guys can look this up. I encourage you to go look it up. And she was pertaining to, you know, they asked her some questions, particularly about the stimulus and what the state of it was. And she said she would hope to have a bill passed within the next 48 hours. This is out of her own lips. If they don't pass that bill, what happens is you're not going to get a check before the election. And that's what most of them, you know, either side of the party would hope for. But for some reason or another, Nancy Pelosi doesn't want this. Now, there's 3 different areas here to pay attention to. One, I don't know if this has been known to a lot of you guys, but, and I'll get back into the segue of what I'm talking about my development company that I'm trying to start and everything like that shortly. But I want you to understand this. These 3 things are pillars to what may happen next. If that stimulus doesn't go out, and there's also not a memorandum put on top of that for the stay of evictions, what's going to happen is in most states, most of the evictions are now lifted. So now you have landlords going into freaking courthouses and they're filing evictions. Now they're going to be especially stern if through this whole past 5 months, 6 months, 7 months now, the said tenant has been obnoxious, been unruly, cursed at them, been displeased in general with their behavior. They're going to be more haste to do this. So I want you to understand this. This is not the talking or the teachings of, hey, this is what I hope happened. No, I'm telling you the linear fashion of how response and perception happens. So look at it from the perception end. Don't look at it from the preaching end. I'm telling you the order in which things will go. Now, majority of these landlords, they usually buy property that's cheap. They go on places like, and I'll give you some gems, because this was given to me by DJ Envy when he just did freaking, what's the name, Power Moves Makers podcast, which you can also find on YouTube. Tell them Davin Lewis sent you over there, a professional, and tell Prez I said, what up? One of the things that he told us about was auctions.com, and how these landlords, they would go into very cheap areas, usually not affluent areas, usually it's the other way around. But if they have minimum money to invest, they'll go in these cheap areas and they'll buy up these properties, dilapidated properties, fix them, moderately, so they can get a certificate of occupancy, meaning that's so you can move into the actual property. The city has to give you a certificate of occupancy, okay? If they don't have a certificate of occupancy, you should always ask for one on demand, because no matter who the property owner is, you are obliged to have a copy or be shown. Thank you. All right, Divalicious. Thank you. You have to have a certificate of occupancy show. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the way in case in most states, but I know specifically here in Connecticut, it is law. Now, along with that, you have the second pillar. The second pillar is this: if they win a judgment against you, and the judgment is for you to get evicted, what now happens is you have an already deplorable and dilapidated rental market, perhaps another crash as you saw in 2010 with mortgages and forbearances, and like I said, I'm no economist. Good morning, Jacqueline, how you doing? I'm no economist, but what I do know is this: the third period, thank you, MD3, excuse me. The thing I do see right here, though, and I want you all to gather in, especially if you're black or Latino or poor whites, is this, and especially if you live here in the tri-state. Newark, I see you all here, Brick City, so you know what I'm talking about, because Newark has been hit. Newark was having some problems before coronavirus hit. And I know Corey Book is down there, he's trying to do the best job he can, but it was on a revaluation. It was coming back. And this hit it, and this economy-wise, it took a toll on Newark. Newark was already strained, so shout out to Newark. I hang a lot in Hoboken, I hang a lot in freaking Newport. I got friends there. I told you, the reason I sound the way I do sometimes is because I've been around a lot of Italian people my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? But I've always known who I was, always knew who I am, and we have our interaction as such. It's never just the point of, but you pick up things and things like that as you go along. So if that is odd to some of you, plus we're here in the Northeast, so it's like, you know what I mean? But I digress. The third thing that most important that you guys got to watch for is a growing homeless population that's going to come after that. There's going to be a growing a new homeless population. A population that we're seeing more and more and more of across the tri-state, beyond the tri-state in New England, even further down south. That trend is people are getting evicted from their homes, regular working people, they're losing their jobs and everything like that. And that's why I laugh sometimes. That's when I laugh sometimes, K-Code, is facts. That's why I laugh sometimes when I hear people that they're so broad to publicize how they work. When a lot of times when you dig deep into it, listen, New York right now, minimum wage is $15 an hour, all right? I'm not sure what Jersey is. In Connecticut just rose to $12, which means previously it was like anywhere between $11 and $10, $9. You cannot live off of that paying $5.50 a month for rent. Even if you had two of those jobs, you could pay $9.50 a month to $11.50 something for rent in this area. It's not, you have to have a second or third income always to come in. You know what I mean? And so the problem is a lot of the people are not taking a lot of things into granted when they count these numbers. For one, entrepreneurs, since last Sunday, we counted that there was 337,000 new jobless claims from entrepreneurs, okay? 337,000 nationwide. That also the common jobless rate had increased itself too, significantly again. And I think it's going to head into that towards the fall, into the You're a soldier, brother, man. I respect you and hope you overcome, Blackman. Thank you very much, Chris. It's going to supersede and it's going to start tackling on top of itself. And I'm going to take my time because I keep forgetting I'm live. I'm so used to filming things and just, popping them up that I need to take my time with this because I want y'all to understand this. And this, once again, this Italian, I'll show you how I tie this into the music business. That was a beat. I'll tie this into the music business. There is going to be an abrupt and haste. If that stimulus is not passed, for the black community, Latino community being fallen into deeper poverty than many are already. And I'm telling you, you will not be able to withstand it. It will be so broad and so in your face, you will not be able to upstand it. So all these people that are running around with their chest poked out, I'm working here. I've had some people say some obnoxious things to me. That meaner things that I've ever had anybody in the music business say to me in the comment section, And I'm saying that a 3% margin, because 97% of you are decent, just people in general. But I've had some people say some nasty, audacious, just obnoxious things to me. And I'm just like, wow, that's how you feel, huh? You feel that lucky, huh? But there'll be these same people that have not very accomplished, haven't fulfilled what they want to do in life yet, usually a lot younger than me, that haven't really, maybe still living with mom or dad or whoever in the house. You're not taking into accountability where their life is at the moment. And they think that they're winning, when in actuality, you're just surviving, papa. You're just surviving. En tú sabes claro, para la gente latino, en tú sabes claro, surviving. And I'm on vida. That's all you're doing. You're just surviving. And it's almost humorous to read some of these comments. Thank you, brethren. Thank you. Super Chuck YV. Y'all sound like some Brooklyn motherfuckers. Or the Bronx. What up, Allerton, if y'all want to check in? What up? You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Marcy? What's going on, Sumner? America sucks. In Canada, people have lost their jobs because of COVID. Yeah, let's talk about that, Rhonda. Let's talk about that. While we're having a debate with Nancy freaking Pelosi and her whims and chronicles of what she wants with this 2.2 when they just offered her 1.8 and she declined it. So I don't know what she was figuring on doing with that additional 4, but they just gave your state relief. So if you don't know, Nancy Pelosi is a representative of San Francisco. Right now, San Francisco for the past couple of weeks has had an orange haze. You guys can look this up, an orange haze all over it. You know what I mean? And that orange haze is for fires going on in the background. Nancy Pelosi needs money to give relief to that. But Trump, just on, I believe it was Friday or Thursday, actually released, he had previously said he didn't want to give Gavin Newsom, who's the governor of California, he didn't want to give him the money, didn't want to release the money, rather their what do you call it, not HUD benefits, their, Jesus Christ, somebody help me out here. There's HUD and then there's the other guys are coming, FEMA funds. So he didn't want to release them. He reversed his decision and he turned around and he released them. Now once he released them, what happened was, Gavin Newsom now has some money, which means the state of California has some money, which means in turn, the most hard-hit places by the fires and everything like that are going on out there. We want to say bless everybody, and hopefully their families have not been affected as much. We want to hope that those areas get the relief, which I'm thinking maybe Nancy Pelosi wanted. Canada has been getting $2,000 a month, just like Rhonda said, $2,000 a month for now the past, I think it was 7 months, if I'm right, maybe 6. But they've been seeing $2,000 a month. Now it's expensive to live in Canada, just as expensive as it is to live in Manhattan. Let me let you know that. So $2,000, don't go too far up there, but it's just the sentiment itself. What Rhonda's saying is that $2,000 a month is a lot of money. And even if you're working, I believe you still get the stipend of the money each month. Now, I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right, that you still get the stipend of the money. If anybody in the comment section wants to look that up, you can. But I'm pretty sure you still get the stipend of the money regardless. So we're talking about Canada, who is just, in all respects, in their own poverty state too, in a lot of regards, before COVID-19 hit. But they're financially equipped enough to give $2,000 a month. Meanwhile, we've been arguing about $1,200 a month for 5 months. And it's not the point emphasis here taken. Do not get mistaken that $1,200 of getting that to the people is the premise here. It's not. Getting relief to the states and getting relief to business owners is their highest premise. Because without that, they don't have any tax money to give. See, the money that they take out of your taxes already when you work, especially New York City. Let me tell y'all a secret about New York City. I mentioned earlier that you can make $15 an hour working in New York City, right? And that's the minimum wage now. But I didn't mention this. It really, in turn, comes out to about $13.75, okay, an hour, after all the taxes are taken out. New York City is one of the highest in income tax in the whole entire nation. Now, you can look that up, but they're the highest in income tax in the whole entire nation. Trust me, I know this very well. They take out more taxes than anybody in the tri-state, anybody in the Northeast, anybody in the East Coast. Please believe it. There are states on the East Coast that don't take out nearly as much property taxes, nearly as much income taxes as the state of New York City. And residential tax, that is the other one that is extremely high, which is another reason you saw a lot of people leaving New York City because they can't afford the property tax. So now I have a mortgage on top of the property tax. I'm not working. Business is numb right now. Why would I stay here? I own a home in Florida we had for years. We prepared for this. I own a home in the Poconos we prepared for years. See, when you live in New York, you have to think big. And that's another problem that I have with a lot of people that don't live in the tri-state that make comments. I have people make comments to me and then I go look at them and, you know, a lot of times they leave their real names so it's not hard to find them. And I'll look it up. Bad boy, baby, we move with silence. That was my mantra. I used to be able to find out anything. I found out parties that were going on. I found out album release parties, everything. This is before the intervention of the internet. I can find out shit just like that. I have a nice little network of people that I still do trust and are generally good people, want to see good success come to black people, generally, authentically. They don't make press statements. They don't do any of that. They put their money where their mouth is, you know? Make no mistake about it. Black people and Latino people, and I'm not trying to be the full force here that moves on. I'm sorry I moved on from that narrative, but I think this best suits what I'm trying to say, what I'm about to say. There has to be some type of unification financially. Now, I done repeated a million times now, and I'm going to say it again one last time. I'm not here to scam any goddamn body. You understand? I know every last one of you work hard for your money. I know every last one of you got your own situations going on at home. Excuse me. And I know every last one and single one of y'all got mouths to feed and everything else. So don't get me mistaken. I appreciate every last one of y'all being here. I do to the bottom of my heart. You people have made me feel better than I felt. I'm talking about spiritually and internally in a long, long time. Y'all therapy for me. Y'all don't even know it, but you are. I was a mean motherfucker for a minute. For a straight year after I lost my girl. If many people want to ask me this, so I'm going to answer it for you. We're only 17 minutes in, so I can go ahead and answer this for you. So people ask me, and I'll get back to that, but I want to say thank you on that. And I'm no scammer, no fraud, none of that shit. And that's why that little podcast only got 1,000 damn views, because everybody see the shit. When I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, I was with her for 7 years. I was in love with this woman. I love that woman. Beautiful, beautiful black woman. I cut her hair for her. She had a mohawk one time. We were very eccentric people. You know, as y'all get to know me, you'll understand I'm like this weird mix between street, eccentric, and Italian, Cuban, black. It's this weird mixture, you know. But yo soy negro, and tú sabes. So the problem is, I miss that girl. I miss her so much. And the way we ended, it drove me apart. This was somebody that I thought I was going to marry. This is somebody that I thought that I was going to be with, have kids with, or whatever. And there was a certain shit getting in our way that wasn't allowing that to happen. Now, she was Muslim, and I'm not Muslim, you know, but I have delved into the Muslim religion. I did so for this 2 years. And on my mother's side of her family, my mother in particular used to, you know, rock an afro. I don't know if it was for style or whatever, but we used to always have, you know, pro stuff in the house or whatever. And my pops was similar and the same from his end, in his perspective, which I'm not going to put y'all, because I don't want to allude y'all to other things about me that I'm not ready to discuss yet. But the long story short of it is, we broke up because, like, I'm going to keep it a buck. She cheated on me with her ex or somebody she was dealing with. I turned around, revenge cheated. She cheated again, I believe, and continued the situation going on, because when I looked at her phone, I ended up seeing text messages from like a year and a half back between these two, you know? And that shit fucked me up. It made me a different person. I still think I'm a different person because I have not had a girlfriend since then. Like I literally haven't. And so it was crazy because that transcended into this thing where for like a year straight I was meaning to everybody. I was meaning to my friends. I was meaning to like chicks I would meet that would actually authentically be interested in me. Like there was a chick I met that was authentically into me and I fucked it up. You know, and I want to say sorry to you, Crystal. Shout out Queens. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to do that, you know, at the time. And I think she still hates me to this day, but beautiful Indian black girl, Caribbean style girl. You know, but shout out to her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you ever see this, I'm sorry. I am. I wasn't thinking about your feelings and what you had been through either. You know, I had to take a lot of things into consideration, and I know for blaming myself, but our situation ended with my ex stabbing me 3 times with my shoulder. We got into an argument for what she had on her phone and some other shit and something I had perceived she was getting ready to do and blah 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 blah. You know, and that was a long time ago now. That was almost 5 years ago. And it took me to a point where I got diagnosed with depression, I got diagnosed with trauma, PTSD, and I suffer from extreme anxiety. So that's my truth. You know, so you know that about me. I've taken care of it. I went to therapy for it. I did everything I was supposed to do. And I feel better. I feel like relieved and everything like that. You know, there's nothing wrong there anymore. And that's why I'm ready to move on. And I think the last thing I needed to shed was the shit that y'all came here and obviously signed up for that I was talking about with Diddy and everything like that. And I appreciate that too. We're going to continue that. That ain't over. I'm just sitting back. And while I got time, I focus on myself. You know, somebody that in the comments said that to me. I read all y'all comments. There's thousands of them. So if you see me reply to you, I really meant that because I took the time to read your comment. I'm just not replying to reply because there's some of them I don't reply to at all. You know, especially if you're saying some Chuck shit. You know, like I just don't. But moving on. Now that I look back and reflect back, my ex was younger than me. To be exact, she was 9 years younger than me. She was still coming up. And she couldn't relate that I was trying to teach her a lot of things too at the same time. You know, I taught her how to cook, taught her how to use crock pot, I taught her how to wash, I taught her how to do everything. And she wasn't that young. But she had always had things kind of like done for her, you know what I'm saying? And so I had to show her, you know what I'm saying? And I showed her. But I think she took it as I was trying to be overbearing, and I wasn't. I did it because I loved you. And I didn't want to prepare you to serve me. Nah. I want you to prepare you to take care of our kids. That's what I was preparing for. So, you know, you ever see this? Adia, I love you. Salam, sister. My ex was one of the most beautiful women I've ever dated in my life. And I'm talking about eternally. I think she was confused. I think she was misled by some influence from somebody in particular, but I ain't gonna say their name. But I always noticed that every time she came back with an evil strike. And when she wasn't with you and she was even with other girls, she didn't act like that. I've been places with her and other girls, art galleries and everything. Me and my ex went to the art gallery. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was Century Cupid. And it was my man's art gallery. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Frank. You know what I'm saying? It was my man's art gallery. That's a fact. He had all local artists and artists from Boston, everywhere. And that's when I met my ex. And when I tell you this sister was beautiful, I cut her hair into a mohawk one time. And it was rocking like that. Like it was crazy. What else did she do? Then we did another thing where we cut half her hair on the side. I think we started on the side with the sis saved on the side. Then we did, and she had the hair on the side right there. Then we did the full mohawk. The mohawk was the waviest though, because everybody gave her compliments for that. But I miss her. I miss her so much. And it's funny because I was looking at my astrology and shit, and it was just crazy. Like we were supposed to be twin flames or something like that. And I'm pretty sure she think about me because I think about her all the time. Even when I'm not thinking about her, I end up thinking about her. You know what I'm saying? But you know, things move on. Maybe I won't ever see her again. I've never seen her since that day happened. I never even contacted her. We never even spoke, nothing. So I don't know how she feel, I don't know how I feel, you know, if I see her. But I know one thing. The last time she was around me, I hadn't seen her for like 2 or 3 weeks. And like this this feeling came on my body, and like it was like paralyzing and shit. You know what I mean? And it was like it was weird because it was like, wow, that person make me feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like that way. I don't know, like I said, if I ever see her again or whatever, but I know I love her. And another thing that got in the way too, I was going to the studio. I was in the studio heavy. She helped me. She helped me. Without her, I wouldn't have been up in that studio. Like I told you, Puff was charging us. Believe that? I told you I wasn't done with that motherfucker. Puff was charging us for Daddy's house. He was charging us. A discounted rate, but he was still charging us. How come the fam couldn't go to the studio for free? They trying to come up. That's only preparing them for you, nigga. Warp thinking. These niggas get in the business and start treating this a bee around me. That's why y'all see me moving like that. Y'all give me a second. It's like a big one too. Oh shit, he following me. What the fuck? I don't know what it is. These bees and shit. Oh shit. That a motherfucker. Y'all give me a second. This bee trying to fuck me up right now. Damn, son. That motherfucker was huge. I'm sorry, y'all. I had this huge ass bee that's trying to fuck me up. I don't even know where they're coming from right now. It's like it's a whole bunch. I'm down by the water, so it's a whole bunch of bees and shit out here. You know, they're trying to have their last breath. I'm over here. It seems like the safe section. Jesus Christ. I mean, that must smell good. They ain't gonna come after no garbage. You know what I mean? But yo, it'd be fucking stupid to me, like the shit people break up about as far as relationships. And I think the reason me and my ex broke up was like fucking so preventable. And that's the shit that pisses me off. That's the shit that be having me think. You know, like when you be thinking and shit, like what would have happened, what could have been and shit. Like, yeah. I don't have no kids. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of time with the music industry. We met all kinds of girls. None of them girls is real. Like most of them girls, they were like say we in Miami, right? Or we at All-Star Weekend. Like it's chicks that already come out there because that's a setup. You know what I'm saying? They coming out there to hustle whatever they hustling. Some chicks is trapping. Some chicks is, you know, prostituting. Some chicks is call girling. Some chicks is looking for, you know, a nigga to choose for their baby father. It's all kinds of shit going on as far as the women and the guys too concerned. A lot of the guys are doing what they're doing. So you never, you know what I'm saying? You never feel nothing real. And like the funny shit is, right? I turn around and we've met women from England, France, everywhere. You know, like everywhere across the world. Some of them are married, got kids now, and I'm still friends with them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Elizabeth and a couple of others that I'm still friends with y'all. We didn't do anything particular, but we had a good time with y'all, hanging out with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And some of the fellas, they know the same because they still talk to them too. So we've met beautiful women from everywhere, but it's not about how you being beautiful, it's like how you resonate with me in particular, or how you resonate with the next man in particular. How y'all rap, how y'all feel about each other. I think that's what really correlates to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a relationship to blossom or even build or even come forth. I think that's it. I don't think it's like anything. Like, for me, my ex was my friend. Like, the night I met her at that art gallery, we started talking about her, because it was Halloween night, believe it or not. And we was talking about her, ain't that wild, right? It was Halloween night. I met her at a Halloween party at my man's art gallery. So, it was funny because she had, I don't know if she was dressed as Shrek or some shit like that. I forgot what it was. Fiona. That's what she was dressed as. Fiona. I forgot what her name was. Fiona. So she was dressed as Fiona. So she had green makeup on. This is how pretty her ass is. She had green makeup on. I was still like, yo, that's the one for me. I just felt it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I started talking to her and everything like that outside. We both smoked cigarettes at the time. So I was like, oh, shit. You smoke? That's a plus. You know what I mean? So we started talking or whatever, getting familiar with each other. So I started calling her. So I started calling her first. We were talking about little small stuff. Started building. Then we started talking about art, everything else you can think of. We started talking about all that shit. It just blossomed and blossomed even more. One day she came over my house. And the day she came over my house, it was beautiful because we just hung out. We watched True Blood. She put me on to True Blood. If you guys have never seen True Blood, I suggest you go watch it. Find like a video channel or something, go watch it. Watch the whole season of it. The brother's name is Lafayette, that played on the show. He's one of the stars of the show. He passed away tragically. So remember the character, the black character Lafayette, he's dead now. He also played Martin Luther King. Believe it or not, in a biopic. But I digress from that. I want to keep moving on. We just kept talking and hanging out or whatever. She put me on the True Blood. We watched episodes of True Blood at my house, on my laptop. We was cooling out, you know. Even after we was together, we'd just be like that. But, you know, music business called, and I wanted to be successful. And look at me now. I ain't got, I ain't got no bread right now. Because of y'all, I got money. A little bit of money anyway. You know? Shit feels crazy sometimes, B, you know? It really does. Just keep it moving. Keep it going. Keep doing what you gotta do. You know? This is what I gotta do. I don't give a fuck. I'm not a good chick. There's pretty women on here. Very pretty. Inside and out. It seems, because a lot of the women that come on my page, I would say the majority of them act like complete ladies, you know, complete ladies. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do now as far as the music business is concerned. It's not going to return anytime soon. And this is really all I know. A lot of people don't realize that. Even on my Indeed and my LinkedIn, it just has my history of like the past couple of years, and all of it's from the music business. Every last bit of it is from the music business. I've worked regular jobs. Like before I went down to New York, I was putting in installation panels. Installing solar panels. I still got the video for it. I'll rip it and throw it up for you guys to see. But yeah, I did that. I did that in the snow, sleet, rain. Got hit with solar panels. I still got that's the joint you see under my eye right there. That's why I was hit with a solar panel. It was a gash, like it ripped. And I kept putting cocoa butter on it. Got that from my mother. Put cocoa butter on it. So I put cocoa butter on it, but it's there. You can still see it. I knocked the shit out of myself. We had to take the clamps. And the clamps like that. And so if you mess up one of the solar panels, what you got to do is you got to take the clamps, and it's got to be at least 2 guys, more preferably, and they've got to open up both of them, then get up under it, and then push it up. Then you calibrate it, and then sit it back down, you know, the way that you want it. But sometimes we would put them in backwards or whatever, you know, because they have. Okay, so when you hook up the solar panels, the way it was it's about 2 miles worth of land. So you got the solar, you got the what's the names that people build them on, which are the I don't know, the things that hold them. I can't think of the name of it right now. But the structures for those. So the structure for those are about 2 miles. And what we're doing is there's one crew that does that, and then there's another crew, which is us at the time. We come in and actually place the solar panels on it. Now we have to place the solar panels right, because at the end of each one there's a conductor set up, and so that's to funnel the electricity that they generate. So the electric company has to come out there. They have to hook that up and everything like that or whatever. It's good work. It is. You get paid well, but it's time. It's really time. Like, and you get fucked up. You definitely get fucked up, but it's good work. So anybody, I don't know if you're into installation, solar panel installation, stuff like that, it's good work. They pay you. Especially if you can find a contractor that's put in a bid for a job. Like, seriously, you can. Which leads me back to this. I wanted to finish telling you guys about the idea I was talking about, because that's why it all started at, about shipping container housing. And I think that black people and Latino people are going to get hit very hard. And I think that a lot of people that are hip-hop artists do the same thing, but they're just speaking on it. And instead they're speaking like they're being affected. Motherfucker, you're worth $845 million. You're not going to be affected the same way somebody that's making minimum wage is going to be affected. You're like, are you fucking serious? And how can you speak for those people when you don't even interact with those people to the degree that you should? You don't walk through the neighborhoods because you know they don't like you. You're not seen with them. You're seen more in Atlanta, Diddy. I can't believe I just said Diddy. You're seen more in Atlanta, punk, in California, than you are in freaking New York. Come on, let's get for real. When's the last time? I think the last time you was in New York, as you vividly made it public, was that time you went and you was just walking around and you were sitting on a bench and you did this little thing down in Chelsea, which everybody know Chelsea is safe as fuck. You live in the tri-state area. And you was like, it feels good to be home. You wasn't in Harlem. You wasn't in Brooklyn. You wasn't even in Mount Vernon. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? You stayed in Manhattan. I ain't mad at you. I get it. You know? But what I'm trying to say is, because I know how much money you want. And I understand why you ain't go down there. You know, I get that. You think I'm making fun of you. I ain't making fun of you. Nigga, I'm telling you, living your reality. Your reality is you're a almost billionaire. Multi-millionaire, almost billionaire. And you spending all this money on campaigns and shit, getting all these situations, and taking all your time, making interviews with Charlamagne the God and all that shit. Make sure the squad eye. Ain't no mistake about it, nigga. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. The fact remains this. And I don't mean that as malice. I mean, like, nigga, we were there for you each time that you needed us. We helped the company. Help those from the company if you call this bad boy for life shit. Help those from the company. I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about all them boys. Even though they make videos and shit like that, that little struggle cast got 1,000 views. Shout out to them, y'all. That little struggle cast guy, I went to go check. I told you. I had to go check. I had to. It was just, you know how you get that itching feeling like, I really don't want to go over there, but I'm going to go over there. So I went over there and checked that shit out. I was like, that shit got 1,000 views. And it took it 2 weeks. But if y'all want to go support the struggle cash, I'm going to do that. They're going to need y'all. You know, but shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I got a love-hate relationship with my ex-bad boy mothers. I've probably always been there. They didn't hurt me the most as I knew these guys for 20 years. So they wouldn't do what I do. What I'm doing right now, they wouldn't do what I do. That's why I told you I've always been different. They won't do what I do. You know? I miss all y'all shit. My fault, y'all. Hold on, let me run through this. Latia, what's going on? Cardinals, what's going on? Since April. You so bright, why wouldn't someone hire you? I'm confused. I don't know, Jacqueline. That's just the way it is. I hope you're still here. That's right. The city has a huge arts fund. Exactly. I salute them. 2, you scam all them. I didn't scam anyone. I couldn't live in Cali or NYC unless I was wealthy. There's no more middle class. Exactly, Patrice. There's no more middle class. You're either rich or poor. Our government is corrupt and always has been. They don't care about the American people. Keep growing. You motivate us, bro. Thank you, bro. Blue Hunter, peace, peace, peace. Muddy Waters, yeah, facts. I know what part you're talking about too, because it's time stamped. Yeah. Nah, I don't hurt anybody. I didn't hurt anybody, because I didn't stab anyone. Good morning, bro. It's always great to see you, fighting you. I tried to, Illinois. You heard? Yeah, you do. Thank you, Brick City. You said, please donate. Yeah, that's $STRINGERBELL80. Again, that's $STRINGERBELL80. Trish Jones says, why do I reflect on, that's a cash app. Why do I reflect on the past so much? Why not must move forward? You know, everybody has a right to deal with it, and they have their own coping mechanisms. I want to talk about that too. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I know y'all want to see me win, Illinois. Soul Ties, yeah. Twin Flames, they called it, K. Cole. Twin Flames. Damn. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? LaDon Lamole said something real unique here. Sometimes you have to let people go a season or two. If it's meant to be, she will come back. If not, you are definitely unequally yoked. Being Muslim and believing in the Most High equal conflict. And I will say that her religion did play a part in that. Maybe she sent them. I don't know what that meant. We all have people switch up on us. Fuck them. We keep pushing. That's right. Patrice, Patrice, my chick. Puff Honeycomb's days are numbered. Karma's bitch. That's right. True talk, Patrice. Good afternoon. Stay up and stay blessed. Thanks for sharing. You are appreciated. Thank you, LaDon. Rhonda, thank you. Big up K. Cole. All right. I don't have kids. I know what you mean. Hang in there. Yeah, that shit is real, Monica. What's going on, Candy? And like, what's up? Holla. All right, I'm going to do that. I like, and see, that's the other thing, too. You're the type of girl I like. I like nerd girls. I don't know why nobody thinks that I like nerdy girls. My ex, she wore glasses and all that, too. That's true. When she first came to see me and hang out, she was wearing her glasses. She always wore her glasses for the most part. I like nerdy girls. I do. I like somebody I can have a conversation with, and as well, great in bed. You know, like, yo, Irland Barat, you sound French. That's a plus too. Irlande, I think I'm pronouncing your name right. Barad, do me a favor, send me a message, cause you're cute. Nobody needs one, especially if you don't respect them. That's true, Trish. Cherie, you're Candy. Share, you're Candy. Thank you, Candy. That's right. Thank you, brother. Hey, they're from DC. Y'all give me a second. I'm just checking out all these comments. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I remember when he passed. That's right. You know what I'm talking about. And Body K. Hey, and Body K, how you doing? God ain't finished with you yet, King. Thank you, Patrice. Illinois, you are inspirational to me, brother. You're a big brother I would love to have. Thank you very much. Somebody else told me that before, too. Maybe you could come up with ideas for tiny homes or homeless. And you know what? Rhonda's right there. Shut up. I knew that was your idea. I knew it. I love it. Yes, thank you. I love Philly. But the minimum wage over here is a lot lower. I am phenomenal woman. She says, yes, thank you. I love Philly, but the minimum wage over here is lower than a lot of other states. See, that's another thing, too. People try to come in like they're economists and act like they know what's going on with your state. You have no idea what's going on here. Or, like, for example, unless you do investigation, you wouldn't even know what's going on in Philly. So, yeah, I am phenomenal woman. Totally agree. That is a big hit point. The path of survival is being able to make certain apartments will not even rent to you unless you meet a certain income threshold per month. You know, Diddy in the music industry is tumbling down as we know it. It will never be the same again. Too many people are being exposed. It's an old practice, sad enough to say, that will continue to happen. What up, Clarence? What up, Moose Spree? What's going on? Fake Kings, that's right. Fake Kings and Queens. Yo, big love from LA, California. What up, man? What up, Crenshaw? C Vinyl, what's going on? Shout out to Corey Holcomb, 5150. You know what I'm saying? Zoe Williams, shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Raphael Sadiq. Wow. What was the boy's name from Oakland? I know them in person. Tuesday and the other one. You and I. That's her name. Shout out to them in Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my baby sister out in Modesto, California, which I might be going to. I'm going to talk to y'all about that too. I just want to make sure I don't keep anybody out. Sandra, what's going on? Hey, bro, stop. Hey, bro, what stops you from working? I already explained that. You got to go back to the beginning of the video. LA rent, man, crazy right now. Facts. Yeah, let's pick up on that right now. So you heard me mention that my sister actually lives in California, my baby sister. Shout out to her. I ain't gonna tell you my baby sister's name already. But my sister lives in Modesto. See, I'll give it to you. I'll fuck it. The crazy thing about it is, she's telling me how the rent is expensive as hell if you go anything south of her, which will bring you into southern LA, you know? And it's crazy because the prices, I'm looking at like a junior one bedroom start out, and that shit might not have a refrigerator in it or stove in it either. Just keep that in mind. You might have to purchase that on your own. And she's telling me the rent prices and shit, and I'm just like, yo, really? Hey, bro, salute to you, bro. Mad respect. Most High got a good thing coming your way. Thank you very much. The titles be so, but I'm still Mindful T. Well, Mindful T, you should know, the thing is, we have to be unique. I don't want to be like everybody else. That's one thing you're not going to get from me. I'm not going to be like these other bloggers, you know what I'm saying? And thank you, Beats by Jerk. Yo, Beats by Jerk, put your email in the comments. I'm looking for some beats. Yeah, and if you're a beat maker or you're an artist or whatever, like if you got a link of your shit or whatever, put something too, you know what I'm saying, along with that for my time. But I'm gonna listen to that. I want to be a full-time vlogger for the meanwhile. Like I like doing this. I like talking to you guys. Like I said, it's therapy for me. You guys are freaking wonderful, and I want to always have time to do this. And I'm seeing other people that are full-time vloggers. So what's wrong with me? What's my skin tone? Am I being judged by my own? Because there's plenty enough white boys making multi-millions of dollars doing the same shit I'm doing right now. And I don't have ads on my thing because they won't let me have ads because I cuss. I'm sorry, I curse. I'm a natural person. I've always been like this. I used to curse up in them office buildings, you know that? And the white people loved me for it because they were cursing too, Akowitz and all them. But the other ones, they were, oh, you better stop cursing, turning to Steven. What you doing, Frank? You know that nigga, don't you? We're going to talk about the cooning experiences I've seen in the office buildings in Future Pod. So that's why I said I got so many stories to tell you guys, and I just want to start it out slow because I give you every fucking thing at the beginning, they're not going to come back. Why would I want to give you everything in the beginning and bore you? Blah, blah, blah. I could do it it would probably take me about 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? But if I went continuously, I could tell you everything. A lot of things have to come back to mind. Nothing is made up. Nothing is shut. You know what I'm saying? I went over there and looked at that rebuttal video that was mysteriously put out about the same time I first started doing my lives, and it was crazy to me because it was like, in 2 weeks that shit only got 1,000 views. You know what I'm saying? No comments, even after they went to go check the views, So it was like, that was crazy. And their comment section is open. I saw a couple, but it wasn't many. The problem is, man, like, people ask me, how come I talk about the past? Or why is it a problem for me to get work and all this? And if you didn't hear me at the top of this, I implore you to go back and look at the top of this. I was just talking about I actually got a call back from a job today. Well, not a call back, response, and an email from a job today that I filled out on Indeed because we're mandated to do that where I'm at. So, long story short, I'm hoping that these guys will be inclined enough to have me in there because the holiday is coming and everything. And I don't know how shopping's going to be. I don't know what that experience is going to be like under COVID-19. Like usually New York and Times Square. Well, Times Square was a little dead last year. The Christmas shopping, I think a lot of people going online. But the place that I'm trying to get employment at is a place that would be one of those people that would be open during the holiday season, if you catch my drift. So heavy, you know what I mean? Especially them. So we're going to see what happens, but they definitely need people. So that's a good thing. And like I said, it's local, it's obtainable. Where I'm at, I keep telling people, and just like somebody said earlier in the comments from California and somebody from Philly, you don't realize where people live at or what's the makeup of the demographic. I've never mentioned where I'm at, so you don't know where I'm at. You don't know what the demographic is here. You don't know what the minimum wage is here. There's a lot of variables. If you're calling yourself smart by putting a sarcastic comment, you're actually making yourself look dumb because I have to then question you and say to you, if you were in an office building, what other further investigation or further interest have you looked into or been or exposed that maybe, might be lacking here? What have you not equated in this whole, premise that you have that you're presenting to me right now? Like, because there's a lot of ones I can tell you, there's a lot of variables. One of them is population. There's a small population here. To be quite honest with you, I think the population is somewhere under 100,000, somewhere around there, 120,000, so it's very small, very nice town, very nice people. For the most part, there's a couple of jerks here, and I call them out when I do. But for the most part, it's nice here, But the problem is, a lot of places have closed down. A lot of businesses, even chains have closed down in the Northeast. Also in California, I know this for a fact. Because a lot of times when chains go bankrupt, that means all the stores go closed. That doesn't mean just your particular location is closed and the rest of them across the nation are open. No, that's if they choose to close the store, which you'll usually hear an announcement precede that, which will be, let's say Kohl's has decided to close over 1,000 of its locations. That's what that means. They have decided, not forcefully or by file bankruptcy or old past taxes or old past due rents, and they feel, well, and rather than see this whole business implode on itself, when most companies now know that they can get acquisition from different other agencies. So meaning that you have a bigger company out there that says, hey, I want to buy. This is the same thing you have with Toys R Us. You'll have a bigger company that'll come out there, and they'll come and they'll say, okay, we're going to acquisition this company. And once they do that, what they do is they'll rebrand the company. So they'll make the company into something totally different. So the company, y'all got to excuse me, that bee's back again. I don't know what this bee wants, but he just keeps flying around me. But what'll happen is the company will come in and they'll reacquisition and reposition and rebrand the company. Now it's an all digital company. If it's not an all digital company, it'll be something that's maybe a pop-up shop. A lot of people do that with it, To keep the nostalgia back, I think one of the things you're going to be able to see in a few minutes, I'm just making sure this bee ain't around me no more. One of the things I think you'll be seeing pretty soon is you'll see a lot of businesses, they'll buy what you'll call nostalgia businesses, like Pizza Huts. I'm seeing them close up left and right. I'm seeing Toys R Us. I think there's one Toys R Us left maybe in Canada somewhere, and I think there might be one in the United States. I'm seeing things like another one that's, for example, is Blockbuster. There's one Blockbuster actually left in the United States currently. I think it's in Utah or something like that, but there is one left. No, actually, it's in upstate New York. That one is upstate New York. Look that up if you don't believe me. So these businesses actually still operate because they have to have at least one entity open and available to be actually considered a company still by most standards of most people. If you want to get further loans and things like that or whatever, you need at least 1 or 2 locations open. So don't make no mistake, they haven't diminished fully as a company. Just as a brand, they decided the best thing for them to do is to close the stores. Most cases before they have to file that Big 7. That Big 7, if any of y'all familiar with that, you know what I'm talking about. That Big 7 changes things for a couple years. So, they choose to do that a lot of times. And what I think is going to happen is you're going to see a lot of people buy into these companies and they're going to brand them and make pop-ups out of them. Meaning like Pizza Hut's having a pop-up in Central Park, you know what I'm saying? To celebrate whatever many years of business or their such and such anniversary. And these turned out to be so big that they'll become actually more profitable versus putting up a full location. Like to put up the locations and things like that would probably cost you under 10 grand, maybe 7, 8 grand, It doesn't cost much, you're just transporting mobile stations to cook and, plates and things like that. That'll probably be your most of boxes, whatever the case you may use. Those probably be your biggest expenses. That going to, I just wanted to say that real quick. Please try to recognize where somebody lives at in their demographic and what's going on. There are not a lot of jobs here to start out with. A lot of people in this area will tell you that. That's why you had this one video I put up last night so I can prove my point. I'm not the only person talking like this. You just hearing me. I got this shit 2-3 weeks ago. You understand what I'm saying? When I started looking up myself, I was like, oh, Connecticut doesn't have no guarantee for housing, meaning they don't have to put me on no Section 8 list. They don't have to do any of that shit. Legally. State mandate, state statute, look it up. There's no guarantee for housing in the state of Connecticut. Too, the place where I'm at right now, they don't have a lot of apartments because a lot of people have messed it up. See, what happened was, I guess while I wasn't here, there was this big spike and people were being real philanthropic and being like, yeah, I got a place to rent, da-da-da-da. But what was happening is, there's 2 places here, as far as the shelter. There's one that's for druggies and alcoholics and things like that or whatever. That's on the other side of town. And it's called a wet shelter. That means they're able to come in there and be drunk or high or whatever. Nobody holding nothing against them. They just can't bring drugs or alcohol in there with them. So, it's a wet shelter. That's what it's called. Then there's dry shelters like where I'm at. And when you see most of the guys where I'm at, they're younger and they got other issues. Like they might have mental issues. They might have, psychological issues, whatever the case may be. Or they might be in transition of working. Or they might be recovery. They've done the recovery, so now they're there. You know what I mean? It's a dry place, so it's litany of different reasons. Or they can just be plain out like I am, just homeless. You know what I'm saying? It's a litany of different reasons. But being based on availability, because of September 1st, what happened was, and this ties into what I was talking about with the homelessness thing and everything like that. September the 1st, they had been putting everybody in hotel rooms here in Connecticut. Now, Connecticut, out of the tri-state, was hit the lightest. But just to prevent it, their prevention efforts actually detoured the virus from spread. So they were putting people in hotel rooms, or homeless crowds in hotel rooms instead of having them in the shelters. It's a state grant that was getting into, and they used it. They used it up, in fact. So as of September 1st, here's that B again. As of September 1st, I don't know why this B keeps coming back and forth to mess with me. As of September 1st, what happened was they lifted it. And now, all these people that were previously in hotel rooms and shit like that are no longer in these hotel rooms. So now that they got them out of the hotel rooms and everything like that, now this becomes the question of, all right, where do we put them? I'm looking for the damn B again. He just keeps coming, the back and forth. I think he wants my tea. I had a tea sitting beside me. You guys can't see it, but it's right there. I think that's what he wants. They lifted that September 1st, and now there was no more funds allocated to it because, part and part, the stimulus hadn't came through either. Still now 5 months. So if you can understand, state needs that money to actually be able to afford that. The state funds ran out. You can advocate to get more, but without that stimulus, there is no more coming. This is why I said a lot of people that make comments about things are not taking a lot of variables into question. And I don't know what type of job you work, and that's why I say I know the difference between an intelligent comment and a smart-ass sarcastic comment. You know, and I hate sarcastic comments that have no legs to stand on whatsoever. They just say it just to be saying, like, whatever comes to your mouth. You know what? I bet you I can prove it otherwise. Yeah! You know, I hate motherfuckers like that. If you're going to be that type of person, do it on your own time. Don't do it here, please. You know what I'm saying? Or at least hit my Cash App. Cash App, STRINGERBELL80. Again, that's Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Stringer Bell 80. Hit me right there before you make an insult. You can listen, I'm letting that be known right now. Throw whatever insult you want to in the comment section. Just fucking make a donation. $2, whatever. Say, fuck me, I hate you, whatever. I don't care. Just throw it in the comment section and make sure you donate when you do it. At least do that much if you're going to be so. There's a lot of variables that you're not taking it for granted. Joblessness, everything else, unemployment rates, everything nationally. And literally worldwide now, I would make the assumption. Because a lot of countries are doing better than us, but they're not back to where they used to be because the economy worldwide is not moving the way it used to. Everything is a digital transaction or a digital currency right now. And if you got something to state otherwise, prove it to me. I got reissued a card. I'm talking about bank card. And it now has a thing that you can tap as a chip. I can tap shit now. I don't even have to, I can tap. Tap and shit. You know? And it makes me nervous. What if there's an accidental transaction made because maybe I dropped my card or something on the fucking register? How do I get that money back? You know, I got all kinds of questions when it comes to shit like that, you know? But there's a lot of variables, and a lot of people, I think, in the areas that they live in, they just don't think because their area has been affected. Well, have you seen anybody else's area? Have you done an investigation on how the economy is doing? What's the ratio per person and things like that, you know? So I think you really need to take that into consideration before you make comments. I just really do. I wanted to tell you that if I lived in a Cali, I've been in the shelter too. We had 4 racks on us and still couldn't find a place out here years back. Just make sure you get your own. Yeah, that's the problem, Shaw. See what you said? You had $4 grand because your homeless certificate will give you priority. You apply for low-income apartments. I got you. That's what you call ignorant people, Dab. Don't pay no mind to those haters, bro. A lot of folks will be homeless next year. Watch. Job losses and eviction. You're exactly right, Robbie. Yes, downtown LA is becoming a ghost town with lots of homeless from Skid Row taking over. Now, that I seen. Who put that? C Vinyl. That I seen. I've been out to LA, so I know LA. That I saw, bro. You know, like, Skid Row was actually messing up about 2 years ago when you started first seeing people get hit by the same thing, in my opinion, that happened in New York, where you had luxury housing being put up, and that luxury housing turned into high overpriced apartments where you got 3 or 4 motherfucking students. You know what I'm saying? At that age, right? Like, you can't make the distinction between a single person, a married couple, which are not people getting married or in decline. See, they make these skyscrapers and these high-end luxury apartments because they have one thing in mind. They were trying to get people to stay here for long terms in those apartments. But what's happening, or perhaps even buy them. But what happened is, a lot of those apartments, they were so high and so expensive that people couldn't afford them. or they thought long range, it might be a possibility that I can't afford it. And that's because how jobs have changed in New York City, changed in Connecticut. Businesses left and right have left Connecticut. You know, there was Pfizer's in Connecticut, and there was 2 of them. And one of them had a huge facility that they actually built from ground up. They bought the land, and actually they did it by eminent domain, which is a law. If you're not sure what eminent domain is, California has it too. But they took the houses by eminent domain and paid them off. Who the people out of the area built this complex? Now, they gave the city in which it was built on, they gave them 10 years tax exemption. Within that 10 years of tax exemption, that Pfizer's location vacated the premises, okay, and left an empty shell of a building. And if it wasn't for Joseph Lieberman, if many of y'all don't know who Joseph Lieberman is, he ran for president one time, but he was a senator for for Connecticut for a while. I believe he still is. If it wasn't for him rallying, then another company who fixates itself on dealing with nuclear submarines and stuff, if they wouldn't have got them in there, that place would have still been an empty shell, and it would have just been left there. I mean, this place is a huge facility. It's Pfizer. It's a German pharmaceutical company. So, that's crazy. You are therapy for some of us as we are for you. If anything, you're teaching us how to get through tough times and not be embarrassed about it. I never thought of it that way, Ladone. Thank you. That is a sign to let you know luck is going to change for more prosperous. I think too, man. See, Vito, that's crazy. Your rent is high. Yeah, and just to finish what she was saying, what Shaw was saying, $4,000. I saw me throw in the hair. I was talking about $7,000 on my GoFundMe. But actually, I need more than that. And to be quite honest with you, to be perfectly fine, and I'm talking about paying it forward a month even. You know what I'm saying? I would need $10,000. I would literally need $10,000. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people just don't understand that. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But I actually would need $10,000. I used to live by New SoFi Stadium. Rent there was about $1,900 to $2,000 exactly. Damn, the rent in LA is expensive. And then I'm in AC. Oh, you in Atlantic City? Okay. You in Jersey? All right. You tri-state. You can find a studio down here for $650. Yeah, but see, hold on, Sandra. Hold on one motherfucking minute, Sandra. I'm about to go with you a minute, Jersey. I, like you, know Atlantic City. Let me tell you about Atlantic City for a minute, all right? I got a moment. I ain't have time the other day, cuz today I got time. AC, for its casinos, is cool. Atlantic City, New Jersey, we're talking about, if y'all ain't familiar. AC is cool. Don't get me wrong. All right, shout out to AC. I done spent nights down there. I done stayed in the hotels down there. I'm not a gambler, but it's a great place to get. Their buffet is wonderful. But this is how AC is set up. On one side, you got the casinos and the casino area and everything like that, right? Then on the other side, I forgot what part that is, but it's over by where the shuttles go and they start going downtown. There's a hotel over there. And I stayed at that hotel a million times. They got one particular room in there that's huge. Shout out to my man Jerry down in Sumner. You know what I'm saying? Sumner Projects. You know what I'm talking about, because Jerry used to always get that room for us when we go down there. And this is as of not too long ago. We just go down there to party. You know what I'm saying? Go to the clubs or whatever. Everybody doesn't go to Atlantic City. There's mad clubs in Atlantic City, trust me. So that's one half of Atlantic City. But on the real side of Atlantic City, which ain't nothing but a block over, you go right over by the Rite Aid and the fucking Popeye's chicken. And that's when you see the real Atlantic City. And that shit ain't no joke. Atlantic City, the real Atlantic City is hood. Let me tell you something. New Jersey, more hood than New York, I think. And I'm talking about, and when I say that, I mean by like the demographic of the city and the way the city is set up. You know, they got places in Jersey that look like bomb shells. I'm saying look like they were just hit by grenades. Anybody live in Jersey, you know what I'm talking about. Most Atlantic City look like that. In fact, I would say this. If you move to Atlantic City, you're going to have roaches 9 times out of 10, except for some areas. But the majority of the places, if you're paying $6.50, you're gonna have roaches, rats. There's gonna be crackheads over there. Police gonna be in and out the neighborhood every 5 minutes or whatever. I'm not spoiled, but I'm not moving to that. That just extends my problems. You know what I mean? And like right now, that's why I left New York. Like plenty of y'all don't know, I left New York because of the violence. You know, everybody was being kept in house for like 5-6 months. I mean, 4 or 5 months at the time. I'm exaggerating about 6. But 4 or 5 months at the time, we were under quarantine. So we had like, New York was different for us. Like the train was shutting down at a certain time at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and you couldn't get back on until 5 o'clock because we had to get on a bus. You know, there was a curfew set up for people a couple nights for us. So the riots that happened on Fordham, which was right down the street from me. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I catch the BX12, I'm right there on Fordham. I knew that whole area, the Burlington didn't get hit, but the jewelers, it was mom and pop stores mostly on that whole strip that got hit, that B's back again. It was mom and pop stores that mostly got hit right there, you know? So that was crazy, but yeah, man, I remember that whole shit that happened, you know? So, you know, New York was hit crazy. So when they let everybody out, and that was from frustration from George Floyd. That's why they did that. You know, they wasn't just riding to be riding, and they tore up Manhattan. I have a video, I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna upload it for y'all. And I'm gonna show you why I got caught in the riots and the curfew in Manhattan. You know, there's people stealing shit, running past me, police chasing them, places on fire, windows broken, all that shit. But I left New York because one, there was no more work anymore. Everything was shut down. Like if you've never been to New York, I don't know if you can imagine, but Fifth Avenue, 6th, 7th. I mean, you go down to Chelsea, Trader Joe's is still open. Rite Aid, Dwayne Reed's, you know, they're still open. But everything else pretty much is closed except the grocery stores, you know, a few boutiques right here and there. You know, chicks that still get the nails done or whatever. You know, all that shit still goes on. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool, whatever. When somebody got shot on my train route, on the train that I catch, somebody got shot there for doing absolutely nothing. And it was 2 stops before my stop. I said, I gotta go. I don't care if it's the last time I gotta go, I gotta leave and why right now, because if I don't, it's gonna get worse. And in turn, that's what happened, it got worse. It got so worse, in fact, that probably a week after that, that's when you started seeing everybody just go crazy. Like it was just violence everywhere. It didn't matter if it was black, white, polka dot, yellow, it didn't matter. It was just violence everywhere. And it was mostly facilitated. There was a lot of, like I ain't gonna front, there's different types of homeless people, you know what I mean? I'm gonna come back to everybody in 2 seconds. I just wanna talk about this for a second. There's different types of homeless people. There's homeless people that are cool as fuck and don't bother people and just keep to themselves. And then there's homeless people and they're not on drugs. Let me finish that. They're not on drugs. They're actually trying to get help and they're in homeless shelters and shit like that. And then there's homeless people that are just shitty people, okay? And these homeless people, I ran into them because I've been around them before. And these people are on drugs. They bother people on the subway. You in McDonald's or somewhere eating, they'll hover over top of you. Yo, y'all got any change? It's called aggressive panhandling. They will attack people, like literally attack people. That's happened several times now. You know what I'm saying? Where homeless people are attacking people, MTA workers in particular. There was this one guy in the Bronx. They never caught him. He was urinating in a bottle, and they caught him throwing it in the bus at a woman. He threw it at an MTA worker that was walking on a platform. Then there was another dude that was a homeless dude. He attacked the MTA worker out of nowhere, started stabbing him. If anybody remember that last year in the Bronx. There was a dude that was an MTA worker that was a bus driver. He was attacked by somebody, dude spit on him, whatever. I don't know if that guy was homeless or whatever, but, you know, it's like the homeless crowd in New York and the cities in Connecticut too, trust me, because I've seen them in Harvard the exact same way. Some of them are aggressive, so it's not the best idea to feel, you know, so sorry for them, because a lot of them, they're going to get fucked up, they're going to get drunk, they're going to get high, they're going to do their thing. And that's why, you know, I take up so much of a cord on my appearance. You know, I'm always shaved. People be like, that's why I rock a bald head. I do this with a razor. I have hair. I can grow my hair. As you can see, I got a hair print. But I like my balding. You know what I'm saying? That's how I rock. You know what I mean? That's how I rock. Like the balding. I like Onyx. I'm a fan of Onyx and DMX. So, you know, like those people, you know they pick and choose who they gonna mess with, but they've been messing with elderly people, handicapped people. You know, they got their picks. That's the punk shit about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't have no picks. You know what I'm saying? Go rob an OG then if you so big. You know what I mean? But it happens, you know, and they harass people, all that. So I don't feel no empathy for them. But the people that's really trying, like, you know what I'm saying? Those are the people that I rock with. Like, you know, the brothers I put on the camera below this video, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to move, whatever. But it's not easy right now, you know. Like, you got problems coupled over problems in our situation. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I always smiling. I'm always laughing. I think everybody think I'm supposed to be depressed and shit like that. I ain't got no girlfriend. I ain't got no kids come console me. No family come console me. Somebody asked me that nosy ass question, so I'm going to do that out loud so I can get that off today. Somebody asked me, why does my family help me? My family doesn't help me because of my career choice. Dot period. As simple as that. The church people, my mother's side, you know what I'm saying? And that's from her mother, you know what I'm saying? Not my grandfather. Now, people from my grandfather's side, all of them from Philly. You know what I'm saying? I used to stay in Mechanicsburg and Harrisburg for a minute. You know what I'm saying? All of them the gangsters. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm a gangster. I'm saying like all of them did shit like, you know, pull pistols on motherfucking shit like that. That's them. It was wild. You know what I mean? My granddaddy ended up being a mortician. You never been a follower. You move different and real respect you. Thank you, sister. No, is this the perfect time to work from home? Yes, I had a vision for you to video blogging. Thank you, Candy. Candy, your boss. Thank you, Candy. I appreciate that shit. Yeah, I want to make this my job. Why can't I? Like, honestly and truthfully, and I'm not talking about just to do it. Like, C Vinyl, leave yours in the comments. Do it on one of my other videos, and that way, you know what I mean, it won't be resonate. Leave it on one of the other videos, I'll see it, because it'll be one of the new comments. So just leave it there, C Vinyl, your email, and I'll email you. And then you can email me whatever you want to. I don't want to leave my email in the comments yet, because then that'll open up an old set of worms, you know? LA rent is mad crazy right now. I bet it is. Hey, special lady, thank you. I'm trying, sister. I'm sorry I got late to you. So back to Jersey. I would love to come to Brazil. Let me tell you something about Brazil, right? I have friends in Brazil. Let me tell you guys, I have friends in Brazil. I have friends in France. I have friends in England. I have friends in Germany. I have friends in Istanbul, Turkey, and Spain. Oh, and Venezuela. That hey, and if she comes on here, because she came on here the other day. Hey, Marge. That's my girl, Margie. I love her to death. We all met at the hospital. See, like, I was staying at the hospitals for a quick moment when I was in New York, like when I first got back to New York in 2016, 15 going into 16. And so I was staying at the hospitals for a minute because like friends had changed, their lives had changed or whatever. So I was staying at the hospitals. So they're international hospitals, so I met people from everywhere. And like, it's 4 people or 2 people or 3 people in the room. So you have to get along with everybody. So we all talk. We coordinate dinners together. We go out together. We go party together. We had this great times together. You know what I mean? And so as they left, you know what I mean? Because I stayed at the hospital for like a month. Like, if you guys don't know what a hospital is, like you could pay like $20, $15 or whatever and have like a bed for the night. Now the bed is usually upkept. It's usually the place I went to. I was staying at Jazz on the Columbus, and I also stayed at Jazz on the Park. So shout out to them. The Jazz on the Columbus at Columbus Square in New York. I was staying there. You know what I'm saying? The whole crew in there, all Dominicans, they all know me. The ones on Jazz in the Park, all of them I think are like Slavic or Russian. The people that actually own it are like Slavic or Russian or something like that. Cool people, but I met people from everywhere, and I kept those friendships with them, you know. And it's just. Oh, in Lithuania, that's the other one. I forgot about that kid. Yeah, he hits me up every now and then. So I wouldn't say him. I wouldn't want to go to Lithuania anyway. But France and England, oh my God. Let me see what you said. Well, Dav, you already have thousands of fans. We all appreciate your honesty and loyalty. See Vinyl. Okay. All those. Let me read. I want to read out everybody's comments. So y'all give me a second. Thank you very much. She said my vibe is very genuine. Tia Avro. Worldwide. Yeah, we can help you get a green camera once you get a spot. I would love to do that. Angelique Robinson said move down south. I was thinking about going to Miami. I really was. I know people in Miami, so I wouldn't have a problem. And I'd love to come to damn Canada too. I'd love to come to Canada. Where are you at in Canada? Because I have a few people. I know some people in Nova Scotia. Tina Calvary. She was a good friend of mine. She moved to Miami. But Tina was a good friend of mine. I used to hang out with her all the time. But she was from Nova Scotia. You know, kind of early in the state. It ain't near Montreal or Quebec. I have a lot of French friends. I don't remember who you are. Did you work at Bad Boy? Who is this? Blazing Butterfly 215. You don't have a picture, so I don't remember who you are either. I want an American man. It's toxic here. Robbie Blue. Okay, your name Robbie. You talking about you want an American man. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. My family doesn't mess with me. Like I explained. My family doesn't mess with me, Shaw. I think my decision, you know, dealing with the whole Bad Boy Street team, and then later on Ciroc, and then later on Revolt, and then later on after that Ciroc promo. You know, I've done all three sectors of them, you know what I'm saying? And if you are really somebody from Bad Boy, or you're just a fake profile, fuck you either way. And the reason I say that is you wouldn't even have your face up there the first time, and you would tell me who you were. You know what I mean? So I know you ain't nobody from Bad Boy. And if you are somebody from Bad Boy, you a snitch. I haven't rent for 900 since the early 2000s, just sell said. My apartment was $650 in 1998. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So nationwide, we're having just sell. Everyone's coming to Sacramento. Sac got things going on. Sacramento, huh? One apartment I saw. I agree with that. Sacramento, I heard about that. There are job people working. In California, $15 an hour too, Miss Simmons? I live by Harris by Golden Nugget. You talking about Atlantic Avenue with a Popeye. I'm talking exactly Atlantic Avenue with a Popeyes at. Sandra know what I'm talking about. Yo, that whole strip right there is nothing but corner stores. As you keep going further down, you get the cheaper hotels and more shit going on. Prostitutes and all that. I'm talking about AC, Atlantic City. Robbie Blue said some real shit. High rent is a tactic of white folks to squeeze black. Well, no, they just don't want to squeeze black folks. They want to squeeze anybody that's poor. But the problem about it is it didn't work because now you have an affluence. I'm just reading comments. The problem is now you have people that now gentrified those areas because of COVID-19. They being gentrified themselves. They're not paying rent. They're living under the memorandum. No evictions. They're having their own problems right now. You understand what I'm saying? You know how many months, listen, even at $15 an hour, as I explained to y'all earlier, even at $15 an hour, which is the minimum wage in New York City, and trust me, I miss that shit. If anything else, you're making $3 less here, yet the prices of rent are almost equated to the Bronx, New York. And people in the Bronx, New York have a hard time paying their rent with even $15 an hour. So you think $12 is gonna do it? Fuck out of here, are you serious? Like, there's people in the comment section that know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, exactly what I'm talking about. This is the New York tri-state. See, Vinyl said, yeah, 10K. The 10K would actually make it, I was being modest with the, yeah, I heard not everywhere in California is $15 because I heard that's not the mandate yet. Oh, yeah, you were Toronto. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Rhonda, we gonna stay in touch too. And yo, I'm gonna send you a message, Rhonda. Yeah, man, American corporate greed, exactly. $15 or more. Got you, Miss Simmons. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'm just reading y'all's comments. I know y'all my family. Y'all literally fucking on. I ain't going nowhere from y'all when I get right. And look, this is how I'm speaking. Yo, we can help get you a green screen and camera once you get a spot. I appreciate that. See there? Y'all more better than the motherfuckers in the music business any day. Any day. Why am I gonna leave y'all and I got my own thing going on over here? This is my own thing. And as much as y'all help me spread it, or whether or not y'all help me get to 10 grand or whatever the case may be, I'm planning on staying. 1925, there's only one problem. I can't do security because I got a felony. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that hold me up too, I ain't tell y'all about. Forget them type of church folks. I don't even like them type of church. Oh, God, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Me and Shaw are going to end up fucking around dating. I'm trying to tell you, she cute too. pretty chocolate woman. I went and looked at some of her videos. Don't y'all try to go talk to her now. You know what I'm saying? Nah, oh, she's talking to somebody else. She said, you in Sacramento? No, I'm not in Sacramento. I'm in California. I mean, I'm in Connecticut. I said, I'm not in, Sacramento is in California. I'm in Connecticut. It looked like it, but nah, it's not. I know what you mean. It looked like some bass shit, especially with the music playing in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. The rent is crazy. There was this guy one time in New York City, had this long ass beard. Y'all can look this up. And he was running on the Rent Too Damn High campaign. And that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago. He was actually running for a seat. He filed, paid his dues or whatever. He was actually trying to run for a seat on. Rent's too damn high. The tri-state is the rent is too damn high. And the problem is you got a growing aging population here now of older people that being forced the fuck up out of here. You know? Like it's crazy. I'm talking about the whole entire state. Connecticut is a very opulent state if you don't know. Diana Ross lives here. All right, if you don't know who Diana Ross is, that's Tracy Ellis Ross' mother. She lives in Greenwich, Connecticut, which ain't too far from here. Then you got David Letterman. He lives out here. Martha Stewart lives out here. I don't know if any of y'all know her, Lisa Lampanelli. She's most famous for the roast of, what was that guy's name, Flavor Flav. I don't know if y'all ever saw that. She said the girls in Flavor Love cast look like the 3 a.m. shift at the Jacksonville, Florida Waffle House. That was her. She's from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Eric LaSalle of ER, he's from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Mike Tyson used to own his house out here, which then turned around and became 50 Cent's house. That ain't too far from here. That's near Farmington. About a good little drive, but not too far. God, the list goes on. So the normal used to be you would make your money in New York and then you move to Connecticut or you move to North Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Whitney Houston. She bought her home. She was from Jersey. And many other stars that, God, the list goes on. Not too far from here where I'm at, Taylor Swift is there in Rhode Island. You know, her home's out there. There's a couple people that have homes in Rhode Island not too far from here. Martha's Vineyard is another place. West Hampton and East Hampton. You know, it's Connecticut's always been an opulent looking state, even in its poorest areas. You know, you go to some of the poorest areas in Connecticut, you're going to get the same kind of scenery you see here. You know, that's just how Connecticut is made up. It's nothing I can do. I didn't build the state, so don't get mad at me. I just knew better enough to come on back to the town when time was needed, because what was going on in New York with all the violence and everything, and if you don't know anything about it, look it up. I'm seeing some of it happen in Cali, but I think Cali's more spread out. But New York is more clustered in. That's why you saw so much tension. You know, a lot of that comes from tension, you know? So, it's crazy. Guys, I like all y'all ideas. Let me look and see what else. I just want to read LOL to Jackson. Yo, that's what she said, Angelique. You live in Farmington. Okay, all right. I went to the UConn Dental School out there in Farmington. You know what I mean? Before I left here back in 2014, 2015, I was a patient there. Miss Simmons and Candy, yes. Canada cold, but Canada is beautiful. Oh, y'all heard y'all heard my comment. This holiday season, I'm thankful for I have not what I can receive. That's right, Robbie Blues. Shaw, the truth, it's a date. LOL. Shaw, you in Sacramento. Canada too cold. LOL. Miss Simmons, Candy, yes. All right, she fine as hell. Shaw got it going on, for real. Shaw, can you have kids? For real, it might come up in the conversation. For real, beautiful chocolate sister, right age. Like, I had a daughter. I share this with y'all. I had a daughter. Her name was Amani Katia Lewis. Her mother was Haitian, and I had this sister come on my page. Yeah, give me a minute about all that. We ain't talking about music right now, but hold on one second. So. My daughter's mother was a dark-skinned woman. She was Haitian. She was Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Her name was Farrah. I'm gonna tell you her last name. But anyway, one thing I loved about Farrah was when she was anemic. So she had our baby. Our baby was actually born premature. She was a real slim woman, and which I like slim women. I like slim, tallish women for some reason or another that are like curvy and voluptuous. And I like my BBWs too, man. I like dark skin, light skin. They don't, you know, I ain't no judge with that one. You know what I'm saying? It's just like whoever vibing with you, you know? But the funny thing is, I don't want to call it a thing, but I always linked with dark skin. I had this other sister named Christine, but my daughter would have been dark skinned. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? My daughter would have been dark skinned. Can you get music on the radio? Do you still have connects if artists pay you? I do have connects, but that doesn't guarantee you get on the radio. I'll tell you, just like DJ Envy said, when we interview. I'm going to share some of those too, so you can see what I'm talking about, because a lot of y'all don't know what the Power Maker series was, but it was actually something one of my ex-bad boy bosses, Sean Prez, a reputable man. Ain't a damn thing I ever say bad about that man. That man was my friend when I needed one. It still is. Calls me little brother. He had a podcast going on, and we had a location site, a filming site. We made it as grand as possible. And we had everybody. Funkmaster Flex, like I explained, Tumabasa from here, YouTube. I have friends at YouTube, by the way. And a couple other people. You know, DJ Envy was one of them. One of the things he said in particular was, because someone had asked, it was a Q&A setup. So if you can imagine, well, I ain't gonna tell you the location because we might end up going back there one day or another, whatever, working with Prez, not working with Bad Boy. But we had it set up as a Q&A thing. So after they would have the actual interview and everything like that, what we would proceed after that is we'd have a Q&A session. So everyone would start asking questions, you know, it would be limited to the time of the questions they could ask and the degree of the questions they could ask, but they would ask their questions. And one of the questions that came up is someone asked and said, what can I do to get on the radio? That's what they said. What can I do to get on the radio? And this was the answer. The answer was this. If you want to get on the radio, this is DJ Envy saying, this is Power 105, and I know the guy, all right? And basically, Funkmaster Flex, who at one time when I danced on Direct Effects, was a DJ on Direct Effects on MTV. He said similar in tale, in person, not, you know what I mean? Not on the radio, not hearsay, in person. Heard this with my own 2 ears. If you want to get on the radio, get yourself popping. Get yourself mediocrely popping at first. Mediocre as well as you can popping at first, meaning that you can average 2,000 views, 3,000 views on each joint that you put up within a course of a week, 5 days. That will make you lucrative. Now, once you get lucrative with your numbers, now you can make the transition and you can start, you know, maybe offering people to purchase a single or purchase different types of whatever you might have, hats, t-shirts, or whatever, put those in the description box along with your, you know, your links to that or whatever. One place I'll point you to right now, if any of y'all want to take this down, is a website called Printful. Okay, Printful.com. That's spelled Printfull.com. Printful. Excuse me, one L. Printful. The other one's a fraud website. It's like a clone website. The one with one L though. Go check that out, and you can actually go and make t-shirts, designs, or whatever. You're gonna have to get what's called what's the name files. With that, I'll think of it in a second, and it'll come to me. It's a brain fart. PNG files to actually be able to print the shirts. So make sure anything that you download, one is royalty free, or you port the royalty for it. There's websites you can purchase. It's put in purchase PNG. I have a clothing line that I'm about to launch my damn self. I was going to save it as a surprise, so I at least have something to offer to you guys along with everything else, you know. And I spent about an hour and a half on that this morning, retooling a song that I'm going to re-release and release my song for purchase and sell myself. So that's why I'm also along with you when you say this. Get that going. The people will start talking for you. And I wouldn't depend on the radio. I would depend on YouTube, which is something Tuma Basa said. And I'll tell you why I say that. Right now, Leah Cohen right now is actually one of the big wigs at YouTube Music. And one of the things is the emphasis for music has been put on YouTube and media platforms because people are more readily on YouTube and their thing may switch. See, with YouTube, at least you have an option. You have an option to say, okay, well, you know what? I'm tired of listening to music, so now I want to go to something that's of, significance. I got you, sister. Thank you. One of the things that I want to finish answering this brother though. One of the things I would tell you is to definitely make sure that the YouTube presence is more than anything. And I've been told that by Tuma Basa in person. He told that to the whole phone when we interviewed the guy. And he's second in command of YouTube Music behind Leo Cohen. So I'm about to take a screenshot of that. I got it, Shaw. I got it. Stop fucking with me. You gonna fuck around and end up pregnant, for real. Where y'all meet? YouTube? She's a good soul. She know I'm playing. You know, if you do, you know what I'm saying? We family now. You know? Back onto what I was saying though, guys. I'm just joking. Back onto what I was saying. You know, the music genre and the music business itself has changed. I watched it change 4 times now. You know what I'm saying? You work in the state government, Miss Simmons? Got you. All right, sister. Hey, what is your position, if you don't mind putting it down? Damn, and let me turn this up for you guys. I keep forgetting what the hell I was getting ready to say about the what's the name. I was just talking about it too. Damn, I just had a brain fart. Give me 2 seconds. Music and the radio and YouTube. With YouTube right now, YouTube is your best. Oh, you in a BX? Oh, all right. Candy, stop playing. Office Tech, got you, sister. Get out of here. You in a BX? That's what's up. Yeah, Pelham, baby, 2 Train. You already heard. Wearing. You know what I'm saying? Wearing. Up by Mace, Allerton. You know what I'm saying? Go over there to Holland Deli, all that. You know what I'm saying? Dollar Tree over there. You know what I'm saying? McDonald's. Got goddamn motherfucking, what's the name? Oh my God, I miss them so much. When I come down, I gotta go to Golden Crust. But the only Golden Crust I got 2 Golden Crust locations I go to. You know what I'm saying? 2 Golden Crust locations. Oh, get the fuck out of here. You grew up on Allerton? Yo, I never walked to Allerton to catch the train, but I always get off on Allerton when I get off on the train. Because you know you can walk down and like, even if I don't want no McDonald's, even if I don't want to go to Dollar Tree or Dollar General, whatever, I'll stop at the other store, or I'll stop at Holland and get my you know, my little loosies and all that, whatever. Or it's a perfect setup if you want to go right there to what's the name? They ain't Rite Aid. What is that? Walgreens. The Walgreens right on the right hand side. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is crazy. I used to sit right there all the time across the street from the Walgreens. There's like some bitches right there. I used to sit right there all the time and do my other lives or whatever, on my other channel when I used to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Yo, I'm telling you, gotta love the BX. I miss that motherfucker so much. I do. It's so different for me. I'm gonna go back to what I was saying, but it's so different for me being out here from being in the Bronx. Like I will be doing totally different things. Out here, I'm very bored, but I'm very tranquil. Most of the people out here are nice, but you got some obnoxious asshole wannabe motherfuckers out here that think they rich. And I'm like, no, the people that don't live around here are rich. And to emphasize my point, I used to live in the neighborhood with the rich people, so I know you fronting right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally lived down there the whole time I was in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? On my own dime. You know what I mean? So you know it's just crazy. It's crazy. If you get to Cal Fresh in Cali, they will hire you because they want people off that system. I bet they do. Yes, the Bronx. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yo, I miss Golden Crust so fucking bad right there in the corner. Yo, that shit was the only thing open. At least I had that, and I think Papa John's across the street. I think they were still open, and the liquor store stayed open right there. You know, right under the train track, the liquor store right there. Both they were open, and the hair place under the shit was open too. They was the only niggas open. Oh yeah, and the Spanish joint right across the street. And Kennedy, I think that's Kennedy Fry. That's either Kennedy or Crown, one of the two. Right next to Boost Mobile. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. My man live in that building right next to that Boost Mobile right there too. He lived right there in that building. The bus stop right across the street right there. Oh man, I got somebody from the neighborhood on here. So a lot of CT people act stuffed up. You can say that right there. Like, I mean like obnoxiously like. When I first got out here, I was hitting up the restaurants and shit like that, right? And like, You gotta like, well, I stay out. I can't be back there until 5 o'clock in the evening. So you gotta eat. You end up eating at the restaurants out here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm eating this shit, going in there. Yeah, you should. You should. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you. Yo. So these restaurants, everything's takeout right now, right? I'm sorry, I put this huge piece of candy. I meant to put a little piece. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, Gun Hill. I don't know when you left, but Gun Hill is different now. Gun Hill Road ain't. It's trying to get back to the way it used to be. There's a little clicks and violence here and there, but it's going back to like old school. It's one of those places that's definitely getting gentrified slowly. Definitely. Oh hell yeah, Bronx used to have a whole bunch of all-night diners. They ain't got shit open right now. Miss Simmons, whatever you put, your message got retracted. I don't know why, but I think because I got this thing on it, this filter or whatever. So just put it in the comments, all right? Eating good, Ella, make me want to eat. I hear you. Back to what I was saying to this young man about the music. The best thing to do is use YouTube as your outlet right now. You'll go very fast, very quick, and they'll start playing your music on their own. Now, if you hear somebody, make sure you got ears to the street that can hear somebody start playing your music, because then, if you're not ASCAP or BMI, you're not entitled to any royalties necessarily. You're going to have to go through a whole process of filing a claim and everything like that in court, and it gets very lengthy, and it might be 2 to 3 years before you see your money. So one thing I would suggest to you, what up, boy? One thing I would suggest to you is definitely this. I was yelling at one of my people I know, beat the horn at me. One of the things I would suggest to you is, if you're going to use YouTube as your platform, make sure that that's protected also. Make sure that you can go online and you can file for this online. Make sure you put a patent protecting your music. Now, I know a lot of people have a problem with trying to choose between ASCAP and BMI. ASCAP kind of locks you in for a couple years, where BMI gives you an option. There's another option too outside of the Actors Guild one, which is and I forgot what the name of it is exactly, but they don't bind you in. But their dues are literally, the same every year. So you're gonna have to pay dues on that. But if you're serious about your music, that's one thing I would tell you. Make sure that you get up under ASCAP or BMI for the reason of it'll just protect you in general. You know what I'm saying? You got it, man. You got it. But definitely, like I said, Leah Cohen. If you don't know who Leah is, that's from Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Everybody got their opinion of Leor. I've never had a problem with Leor, so I'm gonna say, as far as I know, he's a stand-up dude. Now, what goes on in the back works is something he's intimately involved in, say like a project for artists or taking some royalties for an artist. Let's not pretend like he's the only one that's been involved in shit like that, because he hasn't. All right? I'm even brother enough to go say it's been more black artists and Latin artists that have done that type of shit than it has been, CEOs and check signers that have done that shit more than artists, you know what I'm saying, or white ones. You know what I mean? So I don't particularly agree with everything they say about Leor, but at the same time, some of the shit, I can phantom out to be true. So that's just a fact. That's just what it is. Give me 1 second, guys. Now, speaking of Leor, I know I will hire you for consulting. I think that's gonna be I am, Miss Simmons. I really am. Hopefully everybody just go to my, this brother said I will hire you for consulting and get paid, and I get paid. I'm a cash app you, bro. That's no problem. Thank you. But I miss hanging out in there where I used to be in them clubs every weekend. Heartthrob, the Tunnel. Yeah, the Tunnel. I think I was one of the last people in the Tunnel. 84 Copacabana, we did that one too. Yeah, I was late 90s. I was a kid. But I was like, I say the first time I've been in the Tunnel, probably a year after that, Peter Gatian, who's from Canada, he got deported. And that, Limelight, Speed, he owned Exit, because we filmed Notorious in Exit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we filmed Notorious in Exit. That song, Notorious. This was after Big was there. I never met Big. Everybody keep asking me if I met Big. I never met Big. Big wasn't alive when I was there. You know what I'm saying? But the joint now for me in the BX is Salsa Con Fuego. That's where I was at. Shout out DJ Neezy. You know what I'm saying? We're hearing about the tunnel down here in VA. Get the fuck out of here. Is that Kennedy right there? BJ, that's you? That's you. That's me right there, boy. That's my play cousin right there. I grew up with him. Well, a segment of my life I grew up with him when we were kids. You know what I'm saying? Good dude. If that's him. Another beat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that is you. What up, family? That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, real talk. Used to be in the clubs. The place to go to right now is Salsa Con Fuego for me. I was up in there, Corey Holcomb. Who else? Who else is up in there with so far? Mark Curry. I met this wonderful comedian that she's from Atlanta. I forgot what her name is. Oh, Brandolin, what's going on? All right, what's going on? Hey, you got BJ up here. I ain't know to say Brandolin. And thank you for your donation too, man. And guys, just like this guy said up here, Bobby Blue, I will hire you as a consultant when I get paid for my Cash App. It ain't all about Cash App, but yeah, I got that goal. I do. And it's $STRINGERBELL80. Again, that's $STRINGERBELL80. That's Cash App. And the other descriptions for my other stuff is going to be in the link after this. And last night's, I want to say this, last night's cast, I don't know what the hell happened to that. Because listen, it was processing, right? I lost signal because I was using the Wi-Fi. And the next thing I know, the shit was just done. I was like, yo, what the hell? And that was such a good cast. That was such a good cast last night. That was one of my best, I think. But guys, I think that's about it. I want to say some for whatever, you know what I mean? All my links and stuff will be in the description. I appreciate you, man, and I don't mind answering any questions. And that's one thing I will. Let's round this out. We got about 15 minutes left, right? I will be open for any questions you have concerning the music industry, as long as they are sane. They are something of contextual where you're trying to move forward or something like that. Yes, I do know a lot of the secrets that they use. I know the marketing. See, the thing is, when you're an artist and you know this shit, you can ask anybody that's an artist. Anybody that's been in the same position. Many. Hold on one second. Everybody's not Ryan Leslie. Everybody's not like D'Angelo or Prince or everybody like that. And sometimes, hell yeah, I got Salsa Con Fuego. You damn right. What's today? I forgot what my big homie's name is with the glasses. Heavy set, light skinned Puerto Rican brother. I forgot who he is. That's my homie right there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, DJ Neezy, all them over there. Yeah, man. Tell DJ Neezy if y'all know him. Davin Lewis said, "What's up, professional?" He'll know what you're talking about. They all know me over there. I stayed I just started popping in there, but I stayed there like every week. I missed DL Hewley. I missed the performance by Color Me Bad, but Salsa Con Fuego, it's a Latin-themed restaurant, but they have comedians. They have excellent food in there. It's in the Bronx. Drinks are off the fucking chain. Like, you ask for a drink at Salsa Con Fuego, you got to make sure you get your bartender right. But I'll tell you, the first bar when you walk in, that ain't the place to go. Go to the bar by the goddamn bathrooms. That's the bar, the second bar. Over by the stage, that's the bar right there. See, that's what I mean. That's silly right there. Bloodletting in the industry. Let me ask you a question. Who said that dumb shit? Mark Sr. Mark Sr. When were you in the industry? I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. Tell me. When were you ever in the music industry? Tell me. Mark Sr., come on. Everybody ask Mark Sr. when he was ever in the music industry. I still don't see a reply, Mark. You gonna say something, Mark? How you doing, lady? All right, how you doing? The guy's not saying nothing. So the point, exactly, D-Delicious. Why be disrespectful about it? So this is the funny thing, right? Along with all that shit that you're saying, I ask you this, Mark. I I asked you this. Did you ask me something? Yeah, come here. It doesn't matter. Y'all excuse me 1 minute. One of my friends wants a cigarette. Yeah, we'll load up in good. Thank you for spreading my lunch hour with me. Thank you, Rhonda. No problem. Never. I just heard a lot about it. Oh man, I'm glad she stopped me because I can read all these goddamn comments. these motherfuckers, so all these motherfuckers saying this crazy shit. Yeah, so I just, you know, it's good people here. Right. Yeah, but you know.
No, I know what you mean.
How your sisters?
Everybody's good.
All right. Tell them I said hi, and you too as well. I ain't even recognize you at first. Now with double take, I said, oh, I know this one.
Stupid things like covering up the face and stuff.
I'm so tired of wearing these damn mask things, you know.
Can I breathe?
You know. Let me get back to these guys. I'll see you in a little bit, baby girl. All right, guys, I'm back. And dance. All right, so he did say something. Never. I just heard about it. Okay, so see, that's the problem, Mark, and that's why I gave this a minute. I'm sorry about that. I was talking to a friend of mine. I've known her practically my whole adult life, so I'm not gonna front on people. That's one thing about me. I never sit there and front and joke on people. I like that my man said that yesterday. What's his name? Prophet Muscle. So shout out to Prophet Muscle. This is the point, yo. I'm gonna keep this as simple as I possibly can. If you've never been in the music industry, if you've never been in the music business, if you've never had a day of being outside of a concert, and the only thing you have as an example is your example, or shit that you made up, or shit that you heard from some blogger that hasn't been in the music industry either, you're sadly mistaken. Now, I know exactly what a lot of you guys are talking about, and I will give you this. There are certain people within the music industry that do have a dark side to them. Have a dark side to them. That dark side might be inclined to the way they think. That dark side might be inclined to what they worship. That dark side might be inclined to a litany of different things. I don't spend the time trying to investigate these people because why would I? I'm not interested in it. So my perception is not going to stop. You can stop it to stop consuming the music that you're consuming, which I've given you the keys to. There's literally people that sit back and say, these dumb motherfuckers stop consuming it. I'm telling you, there's literally people that have said this. Why do these dumb motherfuckers consume this shit? Y'all think I'm lying? I'm not lying to you. There are literally people that sit back and say, why are these motherfuckers buying this shit? I dare anybody, hold on 1 second. Don't want y'all to hear me clear. I dare anybody in the music industry to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong and tell me you ain't been in a studio session, you ain't been in the office, you ain't been in a meeting, you ain't been in a motherfucking quarterly meeting, and you see them sales. Say it to yourself or say it out loud. I can't believe these people are buying this dumb shit. Tell me I'm lying. You tell me I'm lying, and I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you I'm not lying. I'll tell you I'm about pretty on point. Yeah, pretty much all the performances, not the big bar in the front, the smaller bar in the back with the little tables, it was popping. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about, D-Malicious. Facts. I miss Salsa con Fuego. No question is dumb. I just asked you, homeboy. There are dumb questions. I'm not your homeboy. Let's get something straight here. This new form of thinking, oh, everything is everything, and even when I'm wrong, I'm right. I can break into your house and steal everything you have. I'm a victim. All that poo-nanny bullshit. Listen, pull your panties up on that one. I don't deal with that shit, all right? That new age fucking Utarian, it's really because from the Unitarian Church. So you don't even know what you know how I know? Because I help create some of you fucking robots. That's how I know. So you're talking to Obi-Wan Kenobi right now. You don't even know it. Let me tell you something, kid. The problem is this new form of thinking that you guys have come under, everybody's equal, everybody's the same, everybody should be in holding arms and all that. The shit doesn't exist. It's a fucking trick, all right? It's the biggest trick in the fucking world. You know why that trick exists? To get you to vote. to get you to persuade you to do certain shit, to get you to spend money on certain shit, to get you to put your donations towards the next presidential candidate who is an ex-motherfucking, what's her name, who's an ex-motherfucking segregationist, and a woman right beside her who's claiming that she's black, but she's not black American. Who's claiming that she's a black woman, but had other black women locked up. Huh? You don't hear me. You don't hear me. Don't come to me with that new age thinking. No question is incorrect. There are incorrect questions. There are inappropriate questions. There are obnoxious questions. There are questions that are pride. When you set up a dynamic, you may not have any boundaries. I do. So when you say there's no type of silly questions or whatever the hell you just said to me just a second ago here, the point is this: there are silly questions. There are silly questions that are pointing the premise of prying into people's lives. I'll tell you what I want to tell you. And what I tell you, trust me, you're going to be able to use it, and you're going to be able to rectify it and use it for your own advantage. But take your time. Especially, I can't stand somebody to ask me a litany of questions because they got two things. Let me tell you the new trick that I've been having lately. So the new trick that I had to pick up lately, and actually another blogger put me onto it. And thank all you guys. Jesus Christ, I had 200 plus of y'all come in here today. That's cool. I've had a blogger come into my space, and he wanted an interview from me about this whole thing going on. And you know, I told him no. Just like I told now 14 different interviewers. I've even had people, if you look at my comment section, there's even people in my comment section for smaller blogs that want to interview me. And I'm just not interested right now. You know, I want to tell my story, show my directive, and then after that we can reflect and talk about questions you may have. I'll learn how to finagle this a lot out. You have to understand, I'm used to promoting projects for other people, not myself. It is very difficult promoting yourself. I spent 2 days this past weekend figuring out how to turn the comments back on because I adjusted them and messed them up on YouTube when I did my live for the first time. I never went live, always did preordained videos. I spent time adjusting my channel so I could get it the way I wanted to, so when you guys interact with me in the comments, I'll be able to react quickly. I did a thing where I can make sure I can see. Exactly, that's the point. I don't want anybody getting paid off my story before I do, or telling my story before I do. I'm not concluded everything I've finished telling you yet. I was supposed to wrap it up in one live. I was supposed to wrap my whole 16, 17 years up in one live. That's asking a lot of a person. Could you tell me about your whole entire life in a 2-hour live? Anybody. So my problem with Mark's question was this. When it comes to prying, it's impossible. When it comes to prying, there's a thin line. It's one thing if you ask a question, which I have no problem with that, and whether I choose or choose not to agree with it. I think you guys are used to, not you guys, but I think a lot of people are used to people just coming on here and just basically spilling everything about like we in a fucking barbershop or in front of the liquor store, the corner store, just gossiping. These are serious things that I know. These are serious things that I've seen, things that could put my life at risk, things that people have let me know your life may be at risk if we catch you in New York, and a whole bunch of other things. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes that I don't let you know. You don't know. So don't sit there and act like I'm some nuance or whatever. Speaking of DJ Neezy worked with Prez to put Jack Quaid on, and Fred, and a couple other people, one of the many of DJs that helped play their records. God has given you the opportunity to take you, learn, and to be a millionaire, help and start your own label. I do mainstream political hip hop and Tupac conscious vibe. I might be into that, to tell you the truth, Robbie. I think a political vibe is what's needed in hip hop right now, to be quite honest with you. I have to get back to you on that, but you know, right now I'm not in the position, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But maybe we can work out something remotely where we could do it on Blog Talk Radio or something like that. I may come in for that or whatever. But as far as like, exactly, she knows exactly what I'm talking. I love Patrice. Patrice, you another one that's fine. If you keep begging, here goes another one. Up there, stuck there. If you keep begging like everybody else on YouTube, you might make it, bro. I guess that was meant to be sarcastic. It don't matter. Okay, I'll keep begging. You hear me begging, right? Please help me, please. Please, who will help me? You? It ain't gonna be you, right? So why you worried about it? That's what I mean. You got enough people, you got actually black people and Latin people that are online that talking the same guys as an old racist white man. Like, do you ever hear them? These are the niggas of our society. As I stated before, I had a vision of him video blogging and being paid, so it's going to happen, D. But thank you, sister. Ignore the trolls, man. 98% love you, so ignore the haters. Becca heard you beg. Yeah, that's them right there. Let's get rid of this one right here. Get them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get them up on out of here. That's another thing I learned this weekend too, how to block motherfuckers. That was the thing I was the most interested in, how to block somebody. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm not even gonna waste my time on that. You can stay. I want you to endure the essence. So anyway, I just spent the past 2 hours. Oh yeah, I can remove them. Yes, I can. Let's add moderator. Hide this user from the channel. How you going? Know what I'm saying? Let's get them out of here. So we got them out of here. Go ahead on from. Yeah, I did. I just blocked them. But that's what I mean. You guys saw it for your own self. There's people that will come on that are the same color as you. Talking about begging during the fucking pandemic. But how many of these same people waiting for that $1,200 stimulus check to come through, huh? You on your barely last check from McDonald's, Taco Bell, or wherever the hell else you work. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. I got you. And that's why I'm telling my story slowly. I'm not giving everything away. Like, I already had the idea. You know, one of the other things that made niggas nervous about me was I had the idea 3 years ago to start writing a book and put everything in order because I had a feeling. Like I told you, this is a preemptive feeling I had. Envy fuel consumption. You know what I mean? In fact, envy fuels consumption for suckers. You got that right. It's like, that was hated on. You know, one of the problems I think I had up at that damn building, or just with the company itself, and I'm gonna end off like this, I promise this time, was the fact that I had a lot of knowledge and innovation. I'm very smart, you know, and I don't mean that like choking my own chicken, that's dumb shit. I mean, I'm very smart in the fact that I actually investigate shit, look at shit, or whatever. It's the way my mother was, the way my father was as well. So, you know, we always grew up, and my aunts and uncles as well too. I had an uncle that worked for General Electric, my Uncle Donald. You know what I'm saying? I had another uncle that was in the military for years and ended up working at a train distribution for coal, where they distribute coal and stuff like that with freight trains. That's Norfolk and Western, Norfolk and Southern. I have another aunt that was a school teacher, still is a school teacher, special needs kids. My great aunt was my 3rd grade English teacher. You know, like I come from I told you, it's my granddaddy's side is the nipples. You know, they the ones. And that's what I take after them. My granddaddy was smarter than a knife through butter, but he was just, you know, he was who he was until his later years, and he became a mortician. Learning what you do and what not to do in the industry. People pay for what you saying. I am praying for you because they're mad God and use you to expose everything. I think so too. Thank you for a compliment, King. I'm in Vegas if you ever decide. And that's funny, my folks are in Vegas. That's funny. I got a homie right now that's in Vegas and want me to come out there. But then again, like I'm saying, I'm not going out there with a couple $100, man. I need that, at the bare minimum, I need that 10 grand. And I think I'm gonna do what somebody told me, just increase the fucking money up, because not to say it like that, but it's like, dude, I'm literally fighting for my life. Like, I got motherfuckers that I know are gonna be looking for me when I come into New York, that's for sure. And you know, that could go either way. It really could. But I think I just need a break. My life needs a break. I need a break. I need a woosah and move on, you know? And you guys have helped making that possible, so I appreciate it. So, I don't know, I don't have nothing else to say. I love you guys, man, from the bottom of my heart, for everything y'all have good to say to me, positive to say to me. I proved my point today. 98% of y'all say good stuff to me. Shout out to Hugo Bill's independent office from Motown. All right, shout out to him. You guys have been more than an inspiration for me, and I want to thank every last one of y'all for what you have done, which is giving me my spirit back. So, you know, whether you choose to donate to me, don't donate to me, I just want to put these things out here. I'm no scammer. I'm no fraud. I've never been known for no person to be like that. So for anybody to talk about me like that, that's audacious, and they put me in a space where y'all seen other bloggers do shit. I'm not that guy, and I can promise you I'm not that guy. You know, I'm in somebody's in a genuine situation, and that's just what it is. I don't pretend, I don't front, or nothing like that. And like I said, While you talking about somebody else, you know what I'm saying, and what they doing for people, what you do. You know what I'm saying? You might as well be working with the, you might as well be working with white supremacists because you're doing the same notion. Master, they running, master. Master, they running. They're running again. If black folks don't see we need to help each other after this year, they lost. They are lost. It's like, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah. Guys, it's Cash sign STRINGERBELL 80. I put my GoFundMe up and all that shit or whatever. I use that money just day to day to eat. You know what I'm saying? I washed my clothes yesterday. That's why I was live at the laundromat. You know, that was definitely on time. I'm buying my little knickknacks and I put them on my, you know, my spot or whatever, so I have to eat during the day, because literally we can't go back there at 5 o'clock in the evening, and we have to leave there about a certain time in the morning. So, you know, a lot of times we tired, we're moving around all day, a lot of things are not open here. That's what it is. So, sorry about that loud truck, but it's $ STRINGERBELL 80, and I'll also have that, you can also find that in all the other links down below. So just press my icon and just press videos and all, like, you just there, you hit the description box and it's all in there. A few weeks ago back, I was talking to this black guy in Chicago. He said people think he's a Trump lover because of his views. I had to school this man because he was talking like he had the self-hate. There's a lot of things you know, so you're not speaking about. Be safe. Things are not always what they looks like. That's right. A few weeks back, I was talking to this black guy in Chicago. He said people think he's a Trump lover because of his views. I had to school this man because he was talking like he had self-hate. I don't think it comes to self-hate. I think there's a thing. I'll go into that real quick before I get up here, Rhonda. I think it's a thing where, you know, like a lot of different things in the culture, black culture and Latin culture too, because I know both very well. Like I said, I'll just spell that in my own time, but it's political views. It's the same type of view. Like sometimes pop and it's motivated and it works. Don't get me wrong, it's worked wonderful with all types of different protests and things like that. But then there's a problem when sometimes you can get people to jump up out of nowhere and start saying things that make no sense whatsoever, and people actually rally behind it. And I'm seeing more of that nowadays than anything, where people are rallying behind BS people, BS moves, and all kinds of other crap. You know, I've looked at some of the people, and like one of the things I want to do, this will be show my philanthropy as much as I can do it, is start sharing some of the people that I actually find on GoFundMe, sharing some of those things. There's this young man I came across his page, and he actually needs a van because he's paraplegic. He was put in an accident, and his van I think is like $50,000, and he's got every bit of $39,000. So I'm gonna share that later and put it in my description box as well as mine, and a couple other people try to help. I don't care if they're white, black, whatever. If they're fucked up, you know. But yeah, man, it's definitely a different day, different everything. You know, we gotta find ways to do things differently. I appreciate all you guys. Like I said, this thing is gonna have to take a time to process. So, oh my God, yes they are. Yes they are. Yes they are. You know, I ended at this. I keep on saying I'm gonna end, but I want to end it at this. You actually have a candidate right now that was an ex-segregationist supporter. Okay, he is quoted as saying, "If my kids went to school with black children, it would become a racial zoo," which is one of the most insulting things I've ever heard in my life. And black people were rallying behind this man because they want Trump gone. And I get that. There's some things Trump's done that I don't agree with. Some things that he has done that we don't give him a cause for, like letting many of prisoners that had long overdue sentences from back in the Reagan era, the Bush Senior era, and the Clinton era, who I remember at the time everybody threw Bill Clinton up in high hopes because he blew a saxophone. A lot of people leave out the fact that Bill Clinton had to pardon his brother once he left the presidency because of the pure simple fact his brother was in jail for marijuana possession, which in most states, including the state I'm at right now, is legal once you obtain a license. Those men and women, like Satoya Brown, who many of y'all, if y'all don't know her, Satoya Brown, she was down, I believe it was Ohio, and she had been sentenced because she had killed a pimp that was pimping out at 15 years old. And so it was the clemency of President Trump, whether you like him or not, that made that happen. It wasn't just It wasn't no way just Kim Kardashian. Matter of fact, I'll put you onto a secret. When y'all saw those meetings with Kim Kardashian and President Trump, that's what they were talking about, and that's why she was there. And Kanye did his end as a photo op. Nothing more. Kanye didn't have anything to do with anything. Not this time around. He used his wife to advocate. Much like you saw the first time we went with Jim Brown. This time, Kim came in and she said, you know what, you're doing this the wrong way, baby. I'll just tell him I'll become a lawyer. My dad was a lawyer. Dad got off OJ. Here's what it is. You can't ignore the facts. Joe Biden has not even presented what he wants to do for black people or Spanish people. As far as he hasn't been able to do it in front of black churches, hasn't been able to do it in front of black congregations, hasn't been able to do it in front of black forums, hasn't been able to do it in front of Latin forums, hasn't been able to do it in front of Latin congregations either. And he wouldn't. Why would he? He's an ex-segregationist supporter. And Kamala Harris. Anybody who lives in California know that Kamala Harris spent a long time locking up black women. You be blessed too. You really need to research these people. Now, I'm not saying either side is better side or whatever the case may be, but there's definitely something there peculiar with those two. Exactly. And tell us, Patrice, who had that 94 crime bill signed, so they know. Please write that in the chat so they will know who signed that bill, the 94 crime bill. You might be surprised. There's those saxophone playing bill. And they've done a lot of other crooked stuff, like the houses that were built in Haiti, that they took the money from and claimed that the Red Cross was going to build those houses, and not all. I think it was only 20 to 30% that were built, and they didn't even have plumbing or anything else in it. Ask anybody from Haiti about that. They'll tell you about that. Okay? There's a lot of people that came before Trump that were way worse, including Barack Obama, who picked Joe Biden as his running mate, which makes you question him now at this point. Nobody's ever questioned former President Barack Obama on that. Why did you pick Joe Biden as your vice president when most of this information now is just now coming available? You understand what I'm saying? This message, these situations before weren't available to the general public. It took researching, and I think for me, I saw it at NBC. And when I saw it on NBC, I said, okay, let me do some further investigation. In fact, when Kamala Harris was running as vice president, trying to run as president, she called out Joe Biden in the forum. I can't make this stuff up. I'm not saying either one is better than the other or worse than the other, but there's something there. And I think black people and Latin people need to come together and find a solution. Guys, I'm out of here. All the links are in the description. Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Again, that's $StringerBell80. Stringer Bell as from The Wire. StringerBell80, STRINGERBELL80. And I think every last one of y'all, salute to y'all. Thank y'all for the good vibes. Wish me luck. I'm going to let y'all know how this job thing goes. And I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Bless.